Hello, and welcome to Forgotten Clubs of Wrexham, where today we'll be going through some history about a football club by the name of Gwersyllt Foresters. So, Gwersyllt Foresters were formed in April 1877. We know this because there's an article from May 1877 where they're described as a new club who've been in existence for around 6 weeks. So, Gwersyllt Foresters were formed by Thomas Henry Clayton. Thomas Henry Clayton was of the Clayton family who owned Bryn Mawr Colliery, and he was their first captain and their first chairman. So it's not clear where the name Foresters comes from, but one possible suggestion is there was an ancient order of foresters who were active in the area, and there is some overlap with the club as Thomas Henry Clayton was the chairperson of the ancient order of foresters. Now there could be some precedence for why they chose this name, because a year earlier in 1876 Druids had taken their name from the Wednesday ancient order of Druids, so possibly there's precedent for that in the area of naming your clubs after these sort of fraternal orders that members were part of. So they formed in 1877 and they played in the first ever Welsh Cup. So in the first ever Welsh Cup they drew Northwich Victoria in the first round, and they drew 0-0. They then played a replay, and the replay they won 4-1. So the replay was played at Gwersyllt Park. So Gwersyllt Park on the old Ordnance Survey maps now corresponds to the current Allen Waters. So that's where I am now. I am on the site, at least, of the old Gwersyllt Park where the Gwersyllt Foresters played. So in their first season they were reported as playing in red and blue stripes, and this was in a game against Wrexham. So they said they had to change their kit because it was identical to Wrexham's, and as we know from photographical evidence, the Wrexham kit from 1877-78 was red and black hoops. So it's plausible, again, that Gwersyllt Foresters in a game of Wrexham in 1877 played in red and black or red and dark blue hoops. So in 1878 they moved from Gwersyllt Park, they moved to Stanstey. As I said, it was a bigger ground. So the club held meetings in the Harpin, in the Moss, and they're also reported another game of playing in green and red as well. So in 1885 the club folded, but they played in the first 7 editions of the Welsh Cup. The furthest they got was the third round on 2 occasions, where they were knocked out by Wrexham. So there were some other clubs in Gwersyllt as well. So there was a club called Gwersyllt Church Guild. The Church Guild just dropped the Church Guild bit and become Gwersyllt in 1902. And then there's another club by the name of Gwersyllt Rangers, who existed from 1910 to 1914. They only existed for 4 years, but in that period they won their league 3 times. So they played in the Wrexham District League, and then they played in the North Wales Alliance League as well. But yeah, they existed for 4 years and won the league 3 times. So it's a bit of pre-war football history in Gwersyllt, mainly about Gwersyllt Foresters, as they are a pioneering club of Welsh football. So if you're interested in Welsh football in the Wrexham area, then there is the book Forgotten Clubs of Wrexham, which is available on Amazon. Yeah, thank you for watching.